So the Zoom call got ended. 40-minute limit. Hello again. They did end the Zoom call. Dang it, Zoom.
Yeah.
I might do it with my school account next time then to prevent that.
Yeah, what can Kyle do? What school does Kyle go to PSD?
I think he goes to Green, right? I'm not sure.
Oh, and that should be fine then.
Wait, is this Kyle?
It's Vic.
Vic? Hello?
He or she is muted.
Yeah, Vic, you're muted. Oh, there's Kyle. Hello, welcome back.
Hi, Kyle.
Ooh.
Vic, in case you want to see what we're doing right now, I'll send the links again. So there's two articles about free speech for neo-Nazis. Or the second one isn't specifically about neo-Nazis, but they're both about free speech, and they're on opposite sides of each other.
All right. I skimmed both articles.
Nice.
I'm almost done skimming a second.
Okay. Also, yeah, for Vic, we're just skimming them. You don't have to read them in detail because they're pretty long.
Okay, done.
Okay. Should we wait for Vic? Or should we start discussing? Let's wait for like 2 minutes. Okay, let's just get started then. So yeah, before we actually talk about like the discussion questions, what do you guys think about the two articles and like restricting free speech?
I agree that restricting free speech is just going to make whatever problem you're trying to deal with worse.
Okay. And is that for like similar reasons as the second article?
Yeah.
Okay. So what about some of the points that the first article brings up? Like for example, the first article says that speech that physically damages people is banned. So why not speech that emotionally damages people?
Wait, what about speech? Wait, what was that about speech that physically damages people? Like, you mean acts?
Like speech that incites violence, for example.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree. Emotional
Okay, it's hard to weigh. Well, it's been like harder to weigh in the past, but just because it's harder to weigh, does that mean that there's like a moral difference? Like, what if we got to a point where it's as easy to weigh as it is like as physical damages? Would that change anything? Seems like it does, to me at least.
Yeah, because then we have a clear metric of how much harm is done by those words. Yeah, so I think it does make a difference.
Okay. Well, even right now, we have a reasonably good metric of like emotional harm, right? Even if it's not like sophisticated, it's pretty easy to tell that like emotional harm is inflicted when like maybe you say the N word or something like that. So even if it's not as precise as physical pain, we can still kind of weigh it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you can like ban or just make like hate speech on a day-to-day basis illegal, because like people are gonna give their opinions in like day-to-day life. Like it probably shouldn't be illegal for you to like call someone ugly at school or something. Like you
Well,
probably shouldn't be arrested
I don't
for
think that would be hate speech. Um, well, actually,
So
I
what
mean,
if they like really get emotionally damaged from that?
okay. Um, what about a more extreme case? For example, what if someone like lost their son in like a war, and then someone like tells them like, "Haha, I'm glad you lost your son" or something? Or what about something more extreme? Like there's some pretty extreme examples that they talk about, like burning a cross on an African American's lawn or re-traumatizing Hitler's victims. What about those examples?
well, I agree that banning like certain forms of hate speech is good, but there's like a limit to where you can go, and like it's quite a slippery slope. Because if you give the government the power to censor words, censor like racist speech, it could go a long way in the future.
Okay.
We shouldn't give our government that type of power.
Well, the first article makes the point that that's already been done, and even in the United States, it's already been done, right?
Yeah.
Like in the U.S., it's this is like a cliche example, but in the U.S., you're not allowed to yell fire in a movie theater. That's already been banned, but it seems like that
Yeah.
it hasn't been subject to a slippery slope yet, and it seems like that is like good.
Yeah.
And the article mentions that the U.S. is actually an outlier in terms of how much we value free speech. Like
Yeah.
even like France is a reasonably a country that reasonably values free speech, but even France or other countries like that are like a lot different than the United States. So Kyle, does that change your response? Like, why is it that we ban physical stuff but not emotional stuff? Or was that Julian? I forgot. Who said that they agree with the second
That was,
article? Okay.
yeah, I guess it makes sense, but it makes sense that like small acts of or things that normally don't cost like but like because it because if you call someone ugly at school and it like in extreme cases they end up committing suicide or something, then shouldn't like just bullying in general be illegal because it would have the chance to make someone commit suicide.
That's a good point. Well, I mean, some cases of bullying are illegal, right? Like extreme. I mean, let me think. That is a good point. Like, what's the difference between that and other forms of more obvious hate speech? Hmm. Okay, I just Googled it, and it seems like there are some types of bullying that are illegal, like severe bullying or bullying based on like racial or gender or something. And
But
another question is, just because bullying isn't illegal right now, like, is that something that should be illegal? No, obviously not something like calling someone a funny name, but like severe bullying, is that something that should be illegal?
Yeah.
Because it has to be, it's like it should be like reasonably serious if like some kind of bullying actually drives someone to do something like really bad, right? So why is it that that's not illegal? If telling someone that I'm going to punch you, if why is that illegal? But the emotional damage is not illegal. Or let me rephrase that. Why is it illegal to say that I'm going to punch you, but it's not illegal to say something that causes the person to like be in the same emotional distress as if they were punched? Vic, do you have any thoughts on that? You can just type, I guess. Okay, that's okay. Julian, any thoughts on that?
Not really.
I mean, the only thing I could think of is it's kind of awkward to enforce a law like that because it's probably it's like too controlling, kind of.
And is that because it's easy to see what if something is like intense physical harm, but it's hard to see if something is intense emotional harm?
Yeah.
Okay, that is a valid
Like
argument, I guess.
like you could see someone that has like a broken leg and you like that hurt. But then you could see like someone suffering like a broken heart or like emotional trauma and you couldn't really tell just by looking at them. So
Okay. And I forgot if you've answered this before, but Kyle, if we reached a point where we can say like, oh, this person suffered like 8 units of emotional harm, and that's really bad. If we reach a point where we can actually do that, then would you change your answer to say that emotional harm is also bad? Or I mean, also should be like not free speech?
I don't know.
Because in my opinion, I think that like being harder away is one distinction, but another distinction is it seems like emotional harm has a far greater variance, right? Because the same it's very hard to gauge the impact of something emotionally, but it's easy to gauge the impact of something physically. So that's a bit different than being hard to weigh, I think. Because like if you say something to someone and they're not emotionally harmed, but you say something to someone else and they're extremely emotionally harmed, or was that the point that you were trying to make?
Yeah, I agree. Because like that, I can say that it shouldn't be legal because then you just can't say anything anymore. Like any
Okay.
opinion, basically.
Hmm.
Like, what if you just say to your friend one day like, "Yo, they're ugly," and then your friend tells them, and then they just like immediately want to commit suicide? Then
Yeah. Okay. I see your point. Um, well, another possible response to that is we're not arguing should all forms of emotional damage be banned, right? We're just saying some. Like, for example, um, should cross burning be banned? And the Supreme Court ruled apparently that it might not be allowed. It's not subject to First Amendment protection.
the Supreme Court said it might not be allowed.
Well, I'm reading this article. I'm not exactly sure of the specific precedent on this, but it says in 2003, the Supreme Court held that speech intended to intimidate, such as cross burning, might not receive First Amendment protection.
I mean, we burned a flag in Boy Scouts before, but that was like certain like it's our job to retire old flags. So
It's a what flag?
we once burned an American flag in Boy Scouts before.
Really?
It's
Why?
our job to like we collect old ones and like retire them.
Oh, well, that's completely different purpose.
Different, but like I'm guessing flag burning, like everyday flag burning, is banned.
Yeah. So do you think that's okay? Or maybe that's not a good example because it's not clearly speech.
Yeah.
But what about
Yeah, flag burning is banned. So yeah.
okay? Like as the Daily Beast article mentions, it's banned in where it's banned in France to do like the Nazi salute. Like, should that be banned? That's more similar to free speech, I guess.
I'd say that law is kind of counterintuitive because that just kind of makes people want to, or that just puts it in people's minds more, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, I see your point.
It's kind of like the argument in the second article that if you ban something, people are more likely to do it, or at least know about it.
Okay. That's actually a very good point.
Yeah, because before no one's gonna care if they see someone doing a Nazi salute in the street, but now they have it in their minds. They have this picture of someone doing a Nazi salute in their minds.
Well, I feel like the reason that they banned it was because, like, if your family was like a Holocaust survivor, then they would probably be severely traumatized if they saw a Nazi salute on the street.
Yeah.
So there definitely are people that would be impacted. Or maybe that's also a bad example because once again, that's not really speech. Well, it is speech, but it's not speech as we generally talk about speech. So what's another good example?
Obscenity. Like I know, like I was listening to like a show about Wonder Legal Wars, and there was a case about a comedian that was using obscenity as a form of comedy.
That's my fire alarm.
Oh,
Stuff like every day. So
okay. Well, I think obscenity is a bit different because we're specifically talking about hate speech here.
No, but obscenity could use to offend people.
Oh, well, then it would be banned because it's
Hate
speech, right? Yeah. Okay. So do you think that's should be banned? Not like saying the F word, but actual really bad obscenities.
I mean, if it offends people, yes.
Okay, so you disagree with Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle, what do you think on that?
that it's bad. It's kind of counterintuitive to ban a word, but it also kind of has its merits. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
because
hard to weigh.
Because people have the right to like walk down the street without being showered by obscenities and like things that offend them. That's just my thought.
Okay. Oh shoot, we're over time. Let's see. Okay, I guess does anyone have any closing thoughts on this? I didn't realize that we were over time already.
That was interesting. That was fun.
I think it's a very interesting discussion, and I'm glad we could do it because before I was worried that if we had like 6 people or 7 people like last time, it would be really hard to like make sure everyone's done reading and stuff like that. Okay, Vic, do you have any other closing thoughts? You can type something in the chat if you do or don't. Okay. Well, that's. Oh wait. Yeah, I agree. That's why we're discussing it, right? It's difficult to make these decisions. If it was easy, then it wouldn't. We wouldn't be discussing it, most likely. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for coming. See you guys next week. Bye.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya.
Yeah.